What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel as you check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on some comments that Colin Cowherd made about LeBron James. And I thought that he made some good points about LeBron James and what he think is going on with LeBron James and what he think is what should happen to LeBron James. And I can understand from like LeBron James's point of view, like he been playing basketball for 23 years, well, professional basketball for 23 years. And this is, this is what he get up in the morning, for every morning, man. He a professional basketball. He loved basketball. And it's probably hard for LeBron James to, to move on from basketball. Right. Just like I remember with Michael, with all like Michael Jordan, he didn't want to retire, but his body told him it was time to retire. Same thing with Kobe Bryant. Kobe, if he could have played long, if his health would have allowed him to play longer, Kobe Bryant would have played longer too. Larry Bird, man, Larry Bird played for 13 years until, he had problems with his feet and his ankles, Magic Johnson, so I mean, that day comes for all athletes, right? All professional athletes. But the thing is, it's sometimes as these athletes need to be told that they have to move on. And I think this is where LeBron James' situation is different. Like everybody else body gave out physically on them. So they, nobody had to tell them that it was time for them to move on. It was their body that told them that it was time to move on. People probably, before Mike left, before Kobe left, people was probably had a little bit of Mike fatigue or Kobe fatigue. Maybe not the diehard fans, but some people was like, yeah, it's time for this guy to move on. It's time for this guy to retire, right? And so I think that's part of what's going on with LeBron James and Colin Cowherd. He speaks to this a little bit on his podcast, and I want to play what Colin Cowherd said about LeBron James and what's going on. Then I'm gonna come back and give my input.
Has not played this year. He will not reportedly go on the Lakers 5-game road trip. He's got a sciatica issue. That's a nerve in the lower back and also where Napoleon was exiled to, sciatica. So my least favorite quality in men is high maintenance and neediness. And I'm not saying LeBron's doing that, but there's some supposition that LeBron has his feelings hurt because he hasn't been offered an extension. So I don't know if that's true or not. I think LeBron's smart enough to know the torch has been passed in LA. And this has always been, the Lakers have always been a pass the torch organization, right? Like Kareem to Magic to Shaq to Kobe to LeBron. And it's clearly been passed, not only in ownership from the Buss family to the Dodgers owners, but now it's Luka's team. And the Lakers don't need LeBron to sell tickets, just like they didn't need Kareem to sell tickets, just like eventually they found out they didn't need Shaq to sell tickets.
And see, okay, so that right there, I agree. And I think all professional, especially superstar athletes, realize or come to realize like that like this after a while, the organization that you play for, not just the Lakers, the organization that you play for they don't need you. Like once you are unable to perform at the level that they're used to seeing you perform at, they don't need you anymore. And that's across all sports. And LeBron James, just like a lot of superstar athletes, could be a diva, and he feel like, well, I put so much into this game, I dedicated so much into this game. He probably feel like he deserves some loyalty. But the loyalty is not to LeBron. Like you shouldn't put LeBron James ahead of the game. And that is what as a fan, that's like something what fans don't appreciate when LeBron James wants to put himself above the game and in front of the game. That's where LeBron James get, at least from me, some pushback. You know, because if you put LeBron ahead of the game, then the fans get cheated. You know, we don't get the quality of basketball that we have come to to expect. That's with hiring a coach like JJ Redick, who was unproven, having his son drafted, who is, all this stuff. Like, that's why LeBron James gets so much pushback. And when he say things that are not accurate as far as you know, in the game, people push back because fans want to see the best, and I don't think it's all about hating on LeBron. Fans just want you to be true to the game. And if you're not true to the game and you think that you are somebody who's above being honest and being true to the game, fans just get they just get upset and they're gonna give some pushback. So, but let me continue because he gets into some other things.
There's always somebody in LA making a debut, and they're in Los Angeles. The stars are almost all young and ascending. Your Otanis and your Yoshis and your Justin Herberts and your Puka Nakuas and your Lucas. They're all young and ascending with very few exceptions. I also feel like the league has a little bit of LeBron fatigue. I also feel like LeBron was never in Los Angeles nearly as popular as Magic. I think he's in the Kareem popularity more than the Kobe or the Magic. So,
right. and at first, when I first heard Colin Cowherd say that he's in the Kareem popularity, I was like, wait a minute, Kareem was loved in LA, but Kareem wasn't as loved as Magic, and he wasn't as loved as Kobe. And part of the reason why is Kareem came over to the Lakers from the Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah, he played for the Bucks. So it was almost like the LeBron situation. Like, like Kareem was coming there to help the Lakers, get back to championship or win a championship. Right. So he was almost like a mercenary, like LeBron James. Like, he wasn't a day one Laker like Magic and Kobe. Then on top of that, Kareem, his personality, he's not as charismatic. He's more of a standoffish kind of guy because of the era that Kareem came from. He came into the NBA like in the 60s and stuff like that. So he was, the civil rights and all that stuff. So Kareem and the other guy, what's the guy named Bill Russell, who played in Boston? That is more of them. They was like more no nonsense type of guys, and they didn't really feed into the media as much as Magic did when Magic got there. Magic was more, personable, and he was a day one kind of guy. So I agree with, now that I think about what Colin Cowherd say, I can agree with that.
Takeaway in all this, LeBron's got to fall in line or leave. This is not Cleveland, and it's not even Miami. So it's a pass the torch city. And when I look at LeBron right now, are his feelings getting hurt a little bit? Does he feel like he should have been offered a contract extension? Because LA welcomed LeBron. They didn't worship him. Sorry. In my lifetime, Magic's the most popular Laker of all time. Kobe's the second most popular Laker of all time. There's an argument Jerry West was the third most popular Laker of all time. LeBron's not. And you got to remember, for Rich Paul and LeBron, and again, maybe they aren't in their fields. But LeBron, do you realize the Lakers in his entire career, this is the longest he's ever been in one team for a concurrent stretch, the Lakers. So he's been an interloper and signed 1-year deals for most of his career. So nobody's going to lose any sleep if they're a little less loyal to LeBron than LeBron wants. He may understand all of this. He may get absolutely all of this. But my take is on this is you can feel it. LeBron is going to have to play off ball. It is Luka's team. It is JJ Redick's vision. For most of LeBron's career, I always said this, Kevin Durant could play anywhere. You can get him the ball late in the shot clock. He can hit shots. Steph Curry and LeBron become your offensive ecosystem. Golden State has discovered young guys don't work with Steph Curry. It's just too hard. It's just too quick, too smart, too fast. That's why Steph works with older players really, really well.
And that's a good point, because Kevin Durant, he brings up Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is he's a one-of-a-kind exceptional scorer where, like, he can get his shot off at any time against anybody. You know, he needs probably one dribble, two dribbles, one to the left or one to the right, and then he can elevate because he's 6'11", and arms long as I don't know what, so he can get his shot off at any time. You know, and most other athletes, LeBron and Steph included, are going to have to run some type of play and create some space in order for them to get a shot off most of the time, right? And so that's an excellent point. And it is tough to, and most of the time that's going to be the case. Like, your franchise ball player is not going to most likely be like Kevin Durant, and you got to run something that's going to benefit them so they can get their shot off.
Immediately with KD, always with Draymond, quickly with Andrew Bogut. Young guys he struggles with. And LeBron, he has been the centerpiece. He's very opposite of KD. He becomes your offensive ecosystem, and it's over. That is done. You cannot coach this organization going forward with LeBron being a centerpiece. He's just an asset. And there are nights that Austin Reeves needs the ball and has a mismatch advantage. You don't want to see old guys just hanging on. I don't have a problem with LeBron being here, but an extension, these new owners, I don't know. In fact, I would argue I would take an Austin Reeves extension. And you know how I feel about that over a LeBron extension.
And see, that's the thing with the Lakers having success early in the season, and you see the chemistry developing between Austin Reeves and Luka and the rest of the team, and LeBron sitting on the sideline. If he care anything about basketball, if he care anything about the Lakers, then he will just try to get in where he fit in. And I think that's an important point. As an older, some nights LeBron James, like the Lakers, some nights if LeBron James is the third option, some nights the Lakers going to need LeBron James, but not every night, not for 70 something games. Like run through LeBron James, because it's not going to be like that. LeBron James third option, and even if LeBron James sometimes is the fourth option, and the Lakers are winning, I think that's that even makes LeBron James, in my opinion, look better. Like, makes him look unselfish. Like, he realized that he don't have to be the centerpiece of the team. And so if LeBron James can't accept that, then that just shows that his selfishness, and he's more so, he would prefer for the team to lose and him have his stats and stuff like that. That's not really, fans not going to appreciate that, especially LA fans. With it, like Colin Cowherd said, Los Angeles is a pass the torch, just like every other, but it's more magnified in Los Angeles and Boston. Pass the torch, because they have more banners hanging, than just about every other team in the NBA. And it's all about getting those next stars in here, which the star is Luka. Get them in here and see if they can win championships.
Say what you want about Austin Reeves, but if you can keep him around, Luka's your 1, Austin's your 3, and then you go find a 2, that feels like a championship level team. Years and years ago, this was probably 20 years ago, I was talking to an NBA exec. I was courtside of a game, and I got there early. Did you get there early last night?
Not early enough.
All right. So you get there really early, an hour and a half before, and people come by. And he said something to me, and it's how I want to start my show. Stars in the NBA, in basketball, it's not like baseball. They don't have slumps. They can have a bad quarter, but guys like Luka are always going to get theirs. The late Kobe, Wilt, Jerry West, it doesn't matter. Stars get theirs. Great coaching is taking a B- player and making him a B+ player. Taking a C+ player and making him a B player. You're not going to turn Bronny James into LeBron James. You're not going to jump a grade and a half, but that's what JJ Redick did, and he's doing this year. Rui Hachimura is a good B player. He's playing like an A player. He's shooting 60% from the field. He's shooting 47% from three. That's an A player.
And what I think about that, and I'm gonna end it with this. I just think that JJ Redick is doing a better job at coaching, right? And hats off to JJ Redick and the coaching staff. Like he had some guys on his staff that are some veterans and that have been in the league for a while and also have coached. And I think part of the reason why Hachimura and Reeves are having success this year is because LeBron James is not in there. And LeBron James, in my opinion, he just kind of like suffocates players like Roy Hachimura. You know what I mean? Because they don't play up to his level, close to his level. So they're not going to have the confidence to demand the ball, or they're not going to have the confidence to speak up. And I think while LeBron James is out, and this happened even before Luka got there, like the Lakers, it's just a different look and a different atmosphere when LeBron James not in there. When what was the AD was there, Anthony Davis, him and LeBron James missed a couple games, and the Lakers still went on to win those games when he was out. Those guys felt the freedom to perform. You know, if they got hot and they got in the rhythm, they didn't have to demand the ball from LeBron James. It's hard as a role player to demand the ball from somebody like LeBron James or AD, you know, when they was there. So in my opinion, that's part of the reason too that, you know, Hachimura, because he stepped up before they got JJ Redick, before they brought JJ Redick in there, and LeBron James was missing, right? So I'm gonna leave it at that. Also, I just want to say, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to leave a comment, and I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.